What's up, guys? In today's video here, I got a bunch of cars together. Well, four. We got 4 cars together, as you've already seen. We've got Angel's GTCS here. Michael brought his Whipple car by for us to use today. Paul's got the Procharger car, and Joel brought the Turbo Coyote car I put together earlier last year for him. Whenever he got his new TKM engine and everything, that car absolutely rips and gets down. So the whole purpose of this video today is I want to show you guys the difference in power adders. So we've got 4 different cars here. One is Angel's pretty much bone stock Coyote car. It's got muffler delete and resonator delete and a catch can. That's literally nothing. No drive shaft, sorry. Has a drive shaft. Nothing else. This car is just completely stock. So we're going to take this car out, drive it, and say, oh, you know, this is what a stock Coyote drives like, yada, yada, yada. If you have a Coyote, you already know. If you don't have a Coyote, maybe this helps you decide whether or not you want to buy one. The next car that we've got is going to be Michael's S550. It's silver. It's got a Gen 5 3-liter Whipple supercharger. That's going to be your positive displacement blower. This car is going to be just tire shredding torque down low and fantastic drivability. But this car is borderline sketch. This car makes just enough power that the tires that are on it don't really want to hold up to anything more than what it's already putting down. This car makes roughly 760 wheel according to the mass airflow charts. It hasn't been dynoed or anything, but according to how much airflow it's moving, that's about what it makes. Now, the next car that we've got here is going to be Paul's Procharger car. Prochargers are centrifugal superchargers, whereas your Whipple is going to be your positive displacement. That's going to be like instant power, instant torque. It sits on top of the motor. As soon as you touch it, instant power. With your centrifugals, this is where you're going to start having basically a belt-driven turbo in a sense. So like the harder you rev it, the higher the RPMs, the more power it's going to make, right? But the cool thing about the Prochargers is they are really loud all the time because they're always making power. They're always making boost. They don't stop. So the advantage of that is you get this really loud, obnoxious, all right, bypass valve that bleeds off all this air. So like when you're riding through car shows downtown, you are the center of attention. And me personally, I like that. It's a lot of fun. But it's a lot more boring red light to red light. Your positive displacement blower is going to be a lot more fun red light to red light. And it's definitely a very, very enjoyable setup. We're going to drive that in a minute. We're also going to drive Paul's car here in a minute. Now, we do have to be cautious on Paul's car. I will tell you, this car dynoed 825 to the rear tires in 4th gear at Mustang Week on VMP's dyno. This car did really, really well. Drove home with almost no issues. We ended up having a fuel pressure regulator that died. That totally irrelevant to that whole situation. We bought a used fuel system, and that was just one of the things you get when you buy used parts. Highly recommend buy once, cry once, buy it new, be done. Don't buy used stuff. That's the problems that you run into, and that's the problem that we had. But this car made 825. I don't remember the torque on that. I'll get it to you in a minute. But this car only has a 700 horsepower rated McLeod single disc street extreme clutch in it. I put it in years ago, so it has many thousands of miles of abuse and then a blower added to it, and it's at the end of its life. If you put it on a sticky tire, if we put the slicks on this car, it will annihilate the clutch before we ever make a full RPM pull. So we're going to be easy on this car today. We are not going to absolutely rip the piss out of it, but we are going to take it out and enjoy it and have some fun. Now, the last car that we've got here today is going to be Joel's 2011 turbo car. It is a factory 6R80. It is a factory 6R80 2011 Mustang GT. It is a premium, so it is a little bit heavier. It's got the door subs, the nice stereo, stuff like that. This car, a friend of mine actually bought it first and kind of built this car. It is just a base on-3 single 8096 kit. He has upgraded turbos since then. This car went 980s on foot brake like it was nothing, and the car would not leave. He couldn't get it figured out. He only got a couple passes, had engine issues. Well, Joel ended up putting a TKM built motor in this car, 2,000 horsepower motor, and this car has been, I think, a best of 867 or something like that. And it is now, instead of on an 8096, it's now on an 8589, which, it seems like it's doing okay or struggling to get it. I think he's struggling to get it back where it was, but he's definitely on the uphill side of that now because he found some transmission issues. And turns out all that stuff plays hand in hand. If it doesn't sync up and mesh perfectly, then you're going to have a bad time. But he brought this car by today. We're going to go out and take a ride in it as well. This car does have a cage and only 2 front seats because it is a drag and drive based car. So it is going to be something that you can drive anywhere and everywhere. He drove it 45 minutes or an hour just to come hang out with us today so that we can shoot this video for you guys. Now, the biggest thing that I want people to notice on this stuff is we're going to drive the turbo car, the centrifugal car, the positive displacement displacement car, and the stock car. And hopefully this helps you kind of decide if, you know, hey, if I'm wanting to buy a power adder, which one might be best for my personality or my lifestyle? What might be the best for my driving style? Which one might I like the most? Or maybe you just don't know the difference in all of these, and this kind of helps show you where your differences are. Now, your turbo car is going to have a lot of lag, so down low, you know, it's going to be a little lazy, hesitant to come on. When it comes on, it's going to come on really strong. Having said that, I'm going to roll right on into, let's take Angel's car for a drive first. We'll start with the stock NA car, then we'll come back to the positive displacement car, then the Century car, and then the turbo car. And oddly enough, I actually did that for a reason. We'll go from no power adder to positive displacement, which is going to be the most horsepower, the most torque right on the hit. Like as soon as you snap the throttle, you're going to have instant power. Then we'll go to the centrifugal, where your horsepower and torque will differentiate a whole bunch. Like you'll make, this car made like 825, but it only made like 700 pound-foot. You know, is way down on the torque side. That's just how centrifugals are, because the power comes in past the torque, the peak torque curve. That's the reason why these cars work really good on the street. They don't spin because they don't make a gobs of torque. Now the other car though, the turbo car, whereas we went from positive displacement to centrifugal, this car is going to act like a belt-driven turbo. All the power's up top. Then we're going to step to the turbo car that's actually probably making somewhere between 12 and 1300 in that ballpark range. So we will be going from slowest to fastest as well. So that stuff will be kind of factored in as well as we go in and make these drives. So stay tuned and let's go find out how these things drive. Trans brake? Yes. What's this?
You know, this is the first one we have a bumper exit on it. But, I mean, it's not obnoxious in my opinion. It's louder over here.
That truck looks just like mine.
Yeah, it does.
But you know, as of right now, this car drives exactly like Angel's car did. It just has a little bit more slip on the takeoff.
And the coilovers, I've got a little bit of compression in them, otherwise they're full loose.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously can hear the rear upper mount where it's solid.
Yeah.
And that's annoying. It gets really annoying about 60 miles an hour. It's like you're riding in Dumb and Dumber.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
You know, the most annoying sound in the world.
Annoying sound in the world,
it's not practical in any way. You could definitely drive it every day if you wanted to. You just wouldn't want to.
No.
Like, Angel's car would be the best.
Yeah.
Until you needed to race somebody and they were something fast, and then you wish you was in the Whipple car. Because the Whipple car and the Procharger car will handle all the business that you generally ever run into.
Right, exactly.
Honestly,
they are perfect power levels.
Yes. You know, this car got the cage in it. I mean, it's impractical in so many ways. I took it and made it more impractical than when I got it. So now this transmission is billet front to back. So it's billet one-way clutch, billet intermediate, billet, what else? You'll have to turn the blinker back off.
Yeah.
Because where we created the thingamabobber. So billet, input, intermediate. You feel it struggle to get into boost.
Yeah, it spits and sputters a little bit.
I've talked to Lund about it. They'll blame it on the on-3 kit and its inefficiencies and the bigger turbo, and it's always done it. It done it on the 80.
Yeah.
I put up with it. I'm gonna party. I just put it to the floor and party. It's like, you just got to be ready because
she comes on strong.
It gets busy fast.
Yeah.
Even with a slow ramp, it gets busy fast. Turn the water meth on just so it's on.
On for safety.
That's all. See how it's acting now.
Yeah, she's wanting us to surge.
It's getting warm. Ethanol. soon.
You're right, it does go perfectly straight.
Oh yeah, like it's, you know, all being a chicken for no reason.
Yeah.
Now if I put ramp in it, it'll really get it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it comes in. So that's probably like a 2.5 second ramp in. You turn it all the way up to 50, and it's like a half a second ramp in.
Yeah, I think it's down. That's
See,
fine.
it's so uneventful over here for me. Like I'm like over here going, yeah, that don't even feel fun.
Now, this is actually the first time I've ever driven a fast turbo car, except for like I drove yours around town whenever we put the engine together. But
We'll play here. Don't mind me. I'm gonna make it more exciting.
that's fine with me.
There's 25 with the slow ramp.
What was it before?
18.
18.
It'll spin more this time.
Oh, I figured.
Oh yeah, it's so different.
It's such a different power.
Like it just don't quit.
No. That's what's so insane about these transmissions. The 6R80, it just, when it shifts,
It just
instead
keeps-
of bogging down,
No, it
it's
just
like
keeps
it's a
going.
like hyperdrive. It just takes off again.
It's like the 10Rs are even more. They're just not as strong, but they're just always in the right spot. Always.
Smelly.
Just roll out here and then just nail it. Just punch it.
I tried to stay in it just long enough for it to try to step up to the next one, but the steering in this thing feels a little lazy.
Yeah.
It feels a lot lazier compared. Is it a manual column on it now?
No,
No,
it's electric.
it's still electric. I say it
I wonder
feels
if it's
a
the
little.
wheels and tires or the
I'm wondering if it's a-
ratio of the wheel.
I bet it's the ratio of the wheel. It feels different than like Angel's car, for example.
It's not as quick to react.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's
You got to
got
move it further. Yeah, I got you.
Which I like the being more numb because I'm not more antsy to make jittery moves and stuff on the track
You
and
got,
whatnot.
yeah.
But you have to be willing to actually put the input in instead of just kind of kiss it around.
You're not used to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not used to that kind of numbness on it.
See
So
how quiet this car is, crazy.
yeah, oh yeah.
It might actually be other than the noise of the rear end and stuff, it might be the quietest.
Yeah, well, it may, yeah. Yeah, I'd say about times right there with Angel's car.
Now you roll the windows up and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, boost comes in, it's a different ballpark, but
I think you see a little bit now why I'm a little leery of a bigger single.
it's definitely lazy.
Now, a lot of that coming in was the ramp.
Yeah.
But even then, it takes exhaust energy to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
And
The harder you spin it, the more efficient it'll work and stuff. But if you don't have the flow and the energy, it'll never light.
I think we're really close to the limits of the energy that on3 hot side can create, like piping size wise. I mean, I think you can get to 1400, but you're really putting a lot of strain on everything else. You'd be better off to just build a 1 7/8 inch forward facing header with a better intercooler, and then if you wanted to run 260, what'd you say, 64 66s or even 7170s, which is what a lot of the big power guys run.
Yeah.
Things are gonna make stupid power.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a given.
Yeah.
It's just gonna work.
And everything else works.
Driving the car though, I think that from a race car standpoint, this one's the most race car.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the fastest one of all of them too. I think that a lot of things, when comparing these 4 cars side by side, the racing wheel, the Kirkies, and the cage, really negates this car from kind of being able to even compare it to the others.
They're
but at the
different.
same time,
Yeah.
I don't.
You could drive it every day.
You could definitely drive
but
it every
would
day.
you is the real question. Some people would be willing to put up with it. I don't think, I mean, I'm not willing to put up with it.
Yeah.
I enjoy driving. I probably drive this car once or twice a week, but when I drive it, I get it out and I beat on it.
Right.
Like, I drive it
Do you
hard.
want me to turn that CO off?
Yeah, because if you don't, I'll get out here and kill myself. I'll go to get on it and it'll throw 25 pounds into it and I'll run over the top of somebody.
Well, I guess my opinion.
Fix the boost controller too.
My opinion on the whole car is I really like the turbo setup. The power is awesome once it finally gets there.
Yep.
It's just slow to get there. And it's definitely got a couple drivability quirks, which is maybe tune related, maybe something else. So for something to daily drive every single day,
It would be annoying.
I'd be really far torn between the Procharger and the Whipple. And I think that
I picked the Whipple over it all day long.
I think that the deciding factor on that would be which one would I enjoy the most driving every single day. Would I enjoy being the guy that's just loud and obnoxious all the time? Or would I actually enjoy the fun, dominant response that comes from the Whipple? And to be honest, I
like the Whipple car.
I like the Whipple a lot. I think that, you know, Whipple, VMP, all of them, they're basically go hand in hand nowadays. They're all three, those Magnuson, all those guys, they're all making really good blowers that are working really good. But
Roots, blower power, and power delivery, it's just...
red light to red light, you can't beat
Nope.
positive displacement. Nope. It's just more fun red light to red light to have that tire shredding torque. But in terms of how easy to install it is, this car, hands down, is last place.
There's nothing fun about this.
There is nothing fun about working on this car at all.
The next kit, the kit we build is going to take that into consideration.
The Whipple's not bad. It is not bad to install. But in order to take it off, you have to take the blower apart, pull the lid off, all that stuff. I mean, there's still a bit of stuff that goes into it. The Procharger, without a doubt, is the easiest. You can put it on with basic hand tools in your garage in a weekend. It's not a hard one to put on.
And go out and make 700. What do you make? 760.
This one makes like 760. The Procharger car made 850.
So,
yeah.
And this car probably on what we were on was probably 1,050 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, it might pull like a freight train, but it does have drivability quirks. And if this car is built to do drag and drive and to get out on the weekends and drive around and, you know, just...
It's not built to be a daily.
Act fooling.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
And it does a very good job of that.
It has a fool in it too. I think everybody gets caught up in the numbers, and they get caught up in everybody wants this and wants that. But whenever you get them side by side and you get to drive them like this or ride in them, it makes a completely different comparison. Like I enjoyed the Whipple car the most. I mean, honestly, the Procharge car, I'm going to say this, it's just going to sound absolutely stupid from somebody who has a car driving around with a parachute on it, but it was literally the most attention grabbing one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. It is insane. That car does nothing but show out.
Yeah.
Constantly.
It's not that I don't like it. I absolutely like it. I just probably couldn't have one. That's the answer.
Well,
right
it is definitely a different kind of animal. You know, that's all I ever had. I've never had a turbo car. I've never had a positive displacement blower car. But I just had an F1A on my Mustang, and that's what I loved about it, was the amount of attention that it grabbed, and the fact that I could drive it every day and just blip the throttle and enjoy it, and I didn't have to do something stupid to have that kind of fun.
Oh yeah, and here,
because you've got to roll into this Whipple car and make some steam to have fun with it, whereas my car, I could just drive down State Street, everybody look at me and
I gotta
fun.
have 330 foot to get going, and then I gotta have 660 to stop because of all the modifications. So I mean, yeah, I get it. I mean, the Whipple car, and honestly, the Whipple car was probably, of course, we didn't get to push the Procharge car because of the clutch. But the Whipple car was the diciest by far.
Yeah.
Like, this thing may be fast, but it just tracks pretty straight.
Well, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you guys like it. Thanks, Joel, for coming out here.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you. Had fun with Paul's car and Angel's car as well. And Michael, thank you very much for letting us use your car for this. And sorry for beating on it a couple times, but That's what these cars are for.
We got video evidence. It wasn't that bad.
We got video evidence. It wasn't that bad.
And I looked like a bobblehead doll.
It's an awesome car. I think, in all honesty, I love the Procharger car, and depending on the circumstance, changes what I would buy. If I was building a full dedicated race car, track car, I trailered it to the track, or even drove it to the track, I would probably build a turbo car. If I just wanted all out, flat out maximum
go as fast as you can
performance. However, there's guys going faster than Joel is with a Whipple. There's guys going faster than Joel is
with a
Procharger.
There's guys going faster than me with nitrous.
And there's guys going faster with nitrous. And there's guys going faster NA. Just not in a Coyote. But there is faster NA stuff. So the fact is, you can go fast with whatever you want. But for the max effort NA guys, for what they spend to do that stuff, you can just buy a used blower and just have fun. So buy what's in your means, but buy what you want. If you want a Whipple, buy a Whipple. If you want a VMP, if you want a Paxton, a Vortec, Procharger, ESS, any of these different brands, there's tons of them. You just pick one you like, find a good deal on one, and run with it. If you don't like it, change in the future.
And go experience every one of them before you do it.
Make more friends.
Because it will influence your decision.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Like, I've never really wanted a turbo car, and then Brett built this car, and he said, dude, it's the fastest thing I've ever owned. And then now he's got the Hellcat, and it's the fastest thing he's ever owned.
It's funny.
And it went 968 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a stock car with pulley tuning and E.
Air conditioning. It probably even has AC seats.
It does.
And it's beautiful.
It does. And it has the AC blower, so it can cool the blower in the staging lanes with the air conditioning.
Yeah, I hate that brake guy.
Yeah. What a douche nozzle.
Yeah, but he ain't a chicken.
But he ain't a chicken.
Oh, well, I'm going to try to climb out of this thing. I never got out of this side.
Guys, like always, make better choices. Make sure you come back for the next videos, and we'll find something else for you to do. If you guys like the video, let us know what you liked about this video.
Swing out door bars.
And maybe we'll try to get Joel back up here and get some more videos of his car.
Doubt it.